I gotta clean my garage because I gotta get to my saws. I gotta get to my saws because we're gonna be building something big this spring. Hey fam, out here on this beautiful Saturday morning. First great Saturday we've had in a long time, man. It's been a lot of rain, quite terrible weather. So we're gonna take this opportunity to get things rolling for spring. A wonderful day like today, I wish I could just spend it in the garden, but unfortunately I can't. I actually have to clean my garage. I gotta clean my garage because I gotta get to my saws. I gotta get to my saws because we're gonna be building something big this spring. First of all, we're gonna expand our garden. I wanna add a couple more beds to what we have going on right now. We have to build a whole composting station. I'm thinking 3 bays. We have some pallets, see what we can do with them. And recently we bought 50 single pane glass windows because we wanna build a greenhouse. So I wanna get those out of my garage and get them ready for some long-term storage because they're just taking up too much space in our garage. We got to find a solution outside. But first, on a beautiful day like today, I think it's time we take our seedlings outdoor and give them a taste of some real sunlight. Before I do that, I'm gonna hit them with some fertilizer, make sure they're prepared for the task at hand, and then we're gonna bring them outside for like 2 hours. The fertilizer that I use is the Miracle-Gro Organics, and I like it because it's really easy to use and it doesn't have a strong fishy smell, which is important to us because we keep our seedlings indoors during the winter. And I'm not trying to smell that in the office. So what I do is I take a gallon of water, then I put about 1 tablespoon of the Miracle-Gro Organics fertilizer in it, give it a good shake, let it sit there for like 10 minutes, come back and shake it once or twice more to make sure all the granules are dissolved. Then I just poured it in one of my Bootstrap Farmer 1020 trays about halfway through, and then I water from underneath, which means I put the seed cells inside the water. I let them sit there for like 10 minutes, then I pull them out, rinse and repeat until I'm all done. Then we'll just bring them outside. While that's happening, I'll just be working in the garage. Most of the windows do have hardware on them, so I need to address that situation because they stack easily without the hardware. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so this is what we're working with. I left the tiny ones inside still, but we'll just set the timer for 1.5 hours. The garden looks okay. Spinach doing fine. We have carrots. They aren't all the way ready, but they survived. They're growing on new leaves. Let's pull this one. Little tester. Long and skinny. These may take us to spring. Get that later. Cilantro. We'll recover. We'll hit it with some fertilizer today. Broccoli's pretty much done. But the onions that I planted beside them, they're doing good. These are doing way better than the onions that we have in the exposed beds. This is our garlic patch. The soft neck garlic is doing way better than the elephant garlic, but I hit it with some blood meal and we'll give it some liquid nitrogen. See how it responds. We made the mistake of harvesting our Brussels sprouts early when we found out it was gonna drop to the teens. And then now we realize that it would survive, and these Brussels sprouts are now ready. So let your Brussels hang. Next year we'll get it right. With some more garlic, and this is some onions. I had to show you the garden really fast, see what we had actually growing. And this is where we ended up right before the sunset. But something that I expected to take me a couple hours ended up taking all day. The problem was around the hardware. Half of the windows had hardware with flathead screws in them, so that means I had to use a screwdriver and I couldn't use my drill, so that slowed me down. But once the hardware was taken off, they stacked perfectly fine. I grouped the windows by size and pattern, and then ratchet strapped those together. Then I stacked them on 2 pallets. Managed to get a tarp on it for the rain tomorrow, so they should be fine. Now I can get to all my saws and gardening materials. That's all I have for you today, a day in the life. Next week, we'll probably be building some garden beds. Talk to you later.